Whether you're starting your day or truly breaking your fast, some of the best food from our childhoods were for breakfast. No matter if you needed something hearty, something sweet, or something quick, Mom's pantry was always stocked. While some of our favorites are in need of a resurrection, many have withstood the test of time. Part of a well-balanced breakfast, this is Wayback Attack.
Welcome to Wayback Attack. My name is Brian Grantham, and sitting across the dining room table of destiny is Preston Burt. Preston, are you ready for some OJ and some syrup and whatnot?
I am ready for sugary goodness to get my day started right here at 10 o'clock at night.
Hey, people love having breakfast for dinner, so it makes perfect sense.
I could eat breakfast anytime. My favorite food growing up was French toast, regardless of what hour of the day it was. I could always eat that. And currently now I am known to devour a bowl or two of cereal.
I think I like cereal because it's easy. French toast I like, but it's such a pain. Like, it makes so many dirty dishes.
Yeah, and homemade French toast just isn't the same as restaurant quality.
I don't know. Paige makes a pretty mean French toast.
All right, you listening, Paige? Props for your French toast. I'm down here if you want to just whip some up.
Hey, we just got a griddle, so
watch out.
How have you been?
Man, I've been pretty good. Enjoying some newfound freedoms and just having fun researching this episode, which, spoiler alert, we have like mixed messages as to what this show is going to be about. So it'll be a fun ride. Who knows what'll happen? No, I've been good. I posted something on Reddit today, and I wanted to see if you have a memory of this. So I follow Reddit Nostalgia, or R Nostalgia, and some, people are always posting like, hey, check out this commercial, or remember this toy, or remember this. Like, what I really love are the ones that are just like feelings, or like an event or an experience that like you just hadn't really thought about in years. Yeah. And the other day, I remember I know that they're ubiquitous now. We all use those little Coke machines at restaurants, at the fountain machines where you can get your own Cokes. But like, for us, how awesome was it when you first got to use that for the very first time? Because in the early 80s, like, they were behind the counter. They weren't, free refills weren't a thing. Yeah. And I remember not just using those, but being able to have the childlike wonder to be able to use and sample every single one. What did you call that?
So we called them suicides.
Okay.
It's funny because I love doing that. Like, it's kind of like, as a kid, it's really your first chance of having like control over something, right? Like, it's my decision of what I'm drinking and that kind of thing. But it can lead the wrong way. So something that me and my cousins used to do in Key West is we would go to Taco Bell, because Taco Bell always, I feel like, I always remember Taco Bell having that stuff out. And we used to get All Sport. We'd get a bottle of All Sport, and we'd drink it while we were eating our food. And then we would fill it up to the brim, as tall as you could get it, screw the top on, and then we would go outside. And then, there was a busy road in front of us, and we would just slide it out like a Ghostbuster trap, and then it would just explode whenever a car hit it.
Cheering.
Yeah. Yes. So, too much power can lead to corruption, but
that's really cool, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like a collective memory. We all have it, but we all have a little different bit of it. And I was really surprised to see that it was called different things in different regions. So I think in Canada, it seems to be that mostly in Canada, I'm hearing it called swamp water or swamp juice. Kamikazes, similar to suicides, is another name. And then jungle juice. There was rainbow mix, because you're using all the different colors of the things. Really, really interesting. So I'm curious to hear if you enjoyed a suicide or a kamikaze soda drink as a kid what you called it and where you're from. That would be really interesting to see.
See, it's interesting that it has different names because, granted, I have lived mainly in the southeastern United States, and so maybe that's just like a regional thing. But we've always called it suicide, and I always just assumed, because there's an alcoholic beverage called a suicide, and I've just always assumed that it was like the virgin suicide type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well, I grew up in the North and the South, and I only remember it being called suicide. A lot of the people on the Reddit thread are like, this isn't nostalgic, you can do this today. I'm like, you don't get it, man. You always grew up and they were always there, but the novelty of like having this at your disposal and you were in charge, it was a thing.
I did see that on Reddit, people, and on Twitter, people were tying it to Little League, and so that is nostalgic right there.
Yeah,
because you know, I was recently at a Firehouse Subs, and Little League must have gotten done, like a game or something, and all those kids came in, and now it's a Coke Freestyle. So like now they have an even larger selection of drinks to choose from. So
bathe me in sugar water. Well, I hijacked that conversation. Brian, what have you been up to lately? Anything cool?
Nothing cool.
Oh.
I've been dealing with all kinds of house stuff. So last Monday, I was going to bed 1:30 in the morning, right? And I'm brushing my teeth. I get done brushing my teeth, and I hear like the static of a TV, like the, and I'm like, huh. I can't think of any TV that I have that would make that sound, but it sounded like it was coming from my kids' room. So I open the door, and the TV's not on, but it's coming from underneath the room. So I come running down the stairs, and a pipe had burst.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
It was shooting. Now, luckily, I was up at 1:30 in the morning, because had I just gone to bed like an hour before, it would have gone all night long.
Do you think your brushing your teeth prompted the pipe bursting?
No, because it was the hot water line.
Okay.
And so,
man, you were really lucky that you were awake for real. Like
that would
sucked
suck.
That the pipe burst, but
and it was so hard, like the water going, it blew like a poster off the wall and stuff like that. And luckily the poster was fine, because it was like a limited edition poster, but the poster was fine. But yeah, like I was just like, I came down, I like turned off the water, like the main line, and then I was like, it still was going, and so I was like, okay, and so I ran to like grab some buckets, and luckily it was like underneath, like I have these like old plastic, I think they're like for pharmaceutical transportation or something, they're these plastic bins that I've had forever, and those were under it, and so it was at least catching the water.
Wow.
And it couldn't have been going for more than a couple minutes, and so I was like, okay, well, this water's hot, let me just kill the water with the hot water heater, and I turned that off and then repaired it the next day. But
look at you.
Yeah, that sucked. And then also my lawnmower.
I've heard of this lawnmower struggles.
Gosh,
what's this current update?
This started over a month ago. So I broke my lawnmower last year, and I had a guy, someone local that was going to repair it, right? It's a business. It's not a person. It's a business. I'm not going to put him on blast, but they sent someone out to pick it up, and it was like, the first week the guy never showed up, and I was like, hey, what's going on? And it was like, oh, sorry, I contract that work out. And I was like, okay. So like the next week the guy finally showed up, and then he took the lawnmower, and then it has been like, it was supposed to be done April 24th, and here it is May 11th, and he still has it. And I was like, hey, like I've called him, and I was like, dude, like what's going on with this lawnmower? Now, meanwhile, my grass, it's like when I let my dog outside, he's jumping because he can't see it over the grass.
Last time I was here, your yard was huge.
Yeah, it was crazy. So apparently my neighbors have gotten tired of it, and so the other Monday when I was at work, when I came home from work, somebody had cut all my grass.
Oh my gosh.
They did a great job. They did my front yard, my backyard, my fenced in area. So that part was cool, but like they didn't leave a note, and so I only know one of my neighbors.
They anger mode.
Well, it may have been like a hey, the neighbors that I know like are very nice, and there's a possibility that they were like, maybe something's wrong, we should help, right? Now, if that's it, hey, thank you so much. But if it was someone being spiteful, I got a free yard mowing, so I'm okay with that. So
yeah, you need to like get some sticks and spell out your yard. Sorry, my mower's broken.
Yeah, like
thanks.
I just like I'm gonna like this whole thing is just driving me crazy. So.
Dude, yeah. Well, I pulled up tonight and I saw it was mowed, and I was like, oh, he got it fixed. I'm so bummed for you. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you know what doesn't suck, kids, and that is Retrofied Magazine. So this is actually Brian's copy. I got to bring over to him tonight. He's seen it for the first time. This is issue number 2 of Retrofied. If you're keeping count, we actually have 3 issues, but the first one is a preview issue, which we intended for it just to be a digital only, but due to demand, we printed it, and due to demand, it is now sold out. But that does not mean you can't get our very first premiere issue, which is still available at our website, retrofiedmag.com. We talked about issue number 1 before, but issue number 2, pull up that graphic so they can see it a little bit better, Brian. It's got, the cover is Jim and the holograms. It talks about, we have an interview with the creator of Jim and the Holograms, Christy Marks. She also did a lot of other pop culture things you'll enjoy. We've got, this is our music and more issue, so we've got a lot of content that's dealing with music. We've got an interview with Martha Quinn. We've got an interview with a boombox collector. We've got talking toys, but we also have some social commentary as well and some other fun stuff. Quizzes. You will love it. It's 52 pages full of retro goodness, and like I said, you can get this magazine digital or in print at retrofiedmag.com. I'm the editor-in-chief. We've got some great, talented writers, Brian being one of them. So if you like what we have to offer on Wayback Attack, you will love what we have in store for you at Retrofied.
Yes, and I'm excited about the next issue too. So,
which is?
It is Road Trippin'.
Yeah.
So the I got some ideas rolling around in my head for that one. So the I love that magazine. It's super high quality. It is very professional, and it's a great thing to keep.
Thanks. Well, speaking of Retrofied, Retrofied has a Discord, and actually Wayback Attack is a sub Discord on Retrofied. So if you want to talk Wayback Attack or be a Patreon member, we have a sub Discord on there. But anyway, on the main Retrofied Discord channel, a couple weeks ago, we hosted our first ever retro trivia night. And Brian was the winner. We had like 20 people play, and you were the top dog.
I have to never play again, so I can go out on top, the champion. But I also have some rep to maintain, so I figured, hey, I gotta play to win, baby.
Yeah. Well, we got the graphic up here. Look for that on social media again. We're gonna be starting our retro trivia on Friday again. So this week, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Come to our Discord channel and play some retro trivia. We'll figure out some great prizes to play for. And Brian, I got to point out, he, being the gentleman in the class guy that he is, he actually donated his prizes to the next runner-up, who got them and supremely enjoyed them, shared it on Twitter. So Thanks for doing that, dude. Check out Retrofied Retro Trivia Friday nights, 10 p.m. on Discord.
Yes, I was taught at an early age on my 6th birthday that if it's my birthday and I win the game, I can't have the prize. So I spent part of that day in the closet, mad about it. So, but I've grown up and I've understood why.
Good,
so.
You're a very giving guy. That's awesome.
Well, so tomorrow, or I guess not. Yeah, tomorrow. So if you're listening to this, if you're listening to the podcast, it was today. But tomorrow is Eid al-Fitr. Hope I said that well enough. So it is the Festival of Breaking the Fast, which is a religious holiday celebrated by Muslims that marks the end of the month-long dawn to sunset fasting of Ramadan. And so I figured it's a perfect time to talk about, I'm not a religious man. So the only fast breaking that I ever do is whenever I have breakfast.
That's right.
And it's funny too, because I remember as a kid, breakfast was one of the first times I realized sometimes in the English language, they just put 2 words together and they mean because it means something different. And I think the way I realized it was on I think it was a Burger King sign. It was not next to each other. And so I asked my mom about it, why is it not next to each other? And she said, oh, well, it means this. And I was like, oh,
yeah, the light bulb goes off, whoa,
they're breaking the fast. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So anyways,
yeah. Well, I got to give props to Brian, because we're always trying to figure out ways to work retro content into stuff that's happening now, and how we got there and so forth. And I would always love to talk about retro breakfast foods, but for him to be able to pull this one out, that was great. So if you celebrate Ramadan and are breaking your fast, I'm happy we can lead the way into doing so with some of this retro content.
Yeah, and it is fasting from dawn to sunset during Ramadan. And so right now is a free game to eat all these awesome foods that, that anybody wants to eat. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about sharing some of the breakfast foods that we ate as children. And we're going to have some taste tests for that. But also, I'm going to talk about some breakfast memories that only pertain to breakfast time in my life.
I'm going to have to dig deep for breakfast memories. I didn't have like a tradition or, I don't know, man. I just remember the foods.
Mine involves an injury.
Oh, well, that's very memorable. So, yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, how do you want to do the food stuff? So I'm going to go first. Do you want to cook while we watch the video, or what do you want to do?
Well, let's pull out one of yours because you didn't have anything to talk about it. You didn't. So I told Brian, I'm like, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to buy some stuff for the show tonight. Meaning I'm going to be talking about some of these things. I thought we'd, do a little taste test. And so I said, do you need anything? He's like, get me some toaster strudel. And so I gave him a photo of the entire selection we had at the local supermarket here. And he picked some strawberry toaster strudels. And I came here and said, when are we going to talk about the toaster strudels? And he's like, what do you mean talk about the toaster strudels? I just wanted some toaster strudels. So Pillsbury toaster strudels.
Well, to be fair, so whenever we do these, I like to ask my mom, like, hey, what were some things that I ate a lot as a kid? And because I know some things, and but she obviously, I would assume, would have a better memory of it than I would since I was a child. And so I asked her, and she was like, going through, I said, hey, what's stuff I ate for breakfast when I was a kid? Cereal, something on the go, Pop-Tarts, grits and fried eggs, bacon. I'm going to leave something out because I'm going to make Preston drink this other thing.
Oh, no.
And then she said, for some reason, strawberry stands out. Sugared cereal, too, and other toaster pastries. Seemed like there were some pastries you toasted and then squirted white icing over while they were hot. I told you strawberry because she said the strawberry thing, but then she said they were maybe apple. So
the apple was better than strawberry. You picked the nasty one.
Nah, dude, strawberry's so good.
All right, here we go. I'm popping the toaster strudels down.
Okay. Well, while those cook, I'm going to play a video for the first thing that I'm going to talk about.
Hi, Musketeers. Hi, Biggie. Let's exercise.
That was more than ample time in which to cook some toaster strudels.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and grab a strudel?
All right. I'll hook you up.
Okay. The
napkin.
All right. So, toaster strudels. Here we go. Forgot to pull up the notes. So, Preston.
Yes.
Sorry it's strawberry.
It's all right.
But one of the great things about toaster strudels is that you are given the opportunity to be artistic with your food.
That's right. So the key to the icing packet is, I've learned, when you were toasting these, and for one, let me tell you, toaster is the way to go. You might want to be fast and do microwave, but that is a poor choice, my friend.
Oh, is that an option?
Oh, I mean, you can. I mean, anything can be microwaved except aluminum foil. And it just gets soggy, super soggy. Oh my gosh, and I did this really small, so of course I don't have good icing. Oh, now I've gone too big, and I'm going to have to spread it. Okay.
Well, too bad. You got no knife to spread.
I know. So I'm going to go big strands here. I did a little research for you, Brian.
Oh.
And I do know one thing about toaster strudels.
What do you know?
I didn't write it on the notes because I figured you'd be writing it on the notes. But toaster strudel debuted in 1985. So one of the reasons it's like a cool retro memory for us because it was new on the scene. So like we were marketed this new product, and here we go with the toaster strudel. Show everybody your design. Did you do a good design?
I just made a mess.
And like I said, mine my opening got too big, so I had to go with fat. But let's taste them. This is strawberry. Could have used a little bit longer toast.
I think it's perfect.
It's good. So I know people will love the sounds of us eating, but most of the toaster strudels are good. They have cinnamon sugar, apple cinnamon, cherry, which is my favorite. Raspberry's pretty good. I think they have blueberry. A lot of variety here. The things I don't ascribe to, my friends, are the toaster strudel scramblers, which are just of the devil.
So I know that you say that, but first I want to say, Bakasama, thank you for the for subbing. But Gigantic Cases says their favorite breakfast food as a kid was toast with Cheese Whiz.
Hey, toast is good with almost anything, and it's
as
cheese.
Breakfast?
Yeah. Wait, did you say toast for
well,
breakfast?
No, the Cheese Whiz part.
That's like elevated breakfast. So kudos to you for that. That grand scheme idea that you had.
Okay. Well,
all right, I'm going back in for a second bite.
You could do that. The thing that I wanted to talk about with toaster strudels was I would watch Mousercise in the morning. Like it was probably first grade. It was first or second grade, probably first grade. And I would eat my toaster strudels or a bowl of cereal or something else while watching Mousercise, and I would occasionally get up and do everything with them and everything like that. Were you a fan of Mousercise?
No, Mousercise was like you turned it on, and you're like, oh crap, this again. I wanted something good, and then I get Mousercise.
I loved Mousercise, and this was like kind of like the time period where they had all the live action like Pooh Corner and stuff like that.
Well, let me tell you too, and one of the reasons it was disappointing is because I only got Disney Channel in like early 1990, so it already felt dated. Okay. Mousercise was already dated. I was like, man, this old stuff, and then you got Pooh Corner around the corner after this. Out.
Well, it was a TV series that was inspired by the 1982 Exercise album for children. So they made a record first and then wound up doing a TV show. It debuted on the Disney Channel April 18th, so a couple days after my birthday. It was perfect gift from probably Roy Disney to me. And it was 1983. The channel launched, and it was one of the very first programs that was on the Disney Channel. It had Kelleen?
What?
How do you say her name? Did you see what her name was?
No.
It was Kelleen. Let's see. Let's cut. I'm going to cut to it. Let's see if. All right.
Kelleen. That looks like Kelleen.
Okay. Well, we're going with Kelleen there. So Kelleen
was killing it.
Kelleen was the main instructor for the show, and then it went on to 1996. So it would have still been on the air just for you, fresh and everything for you back in 1990. But to me, it was shocking that 96 the show was still on because, like you said, like at that point it was so dated and just like.
They had filler. They needed to fill stuff. They had.
I guess so.
They had content ready to go. No one's watching this stuff at 6 a.m. Kids can't put up a fight. Give it to them.
Yeah, and they had like, it was during that time period where they had to have like PSAs. Even this was like a workout show for kids, but they still had to have like PSAs and stuff. And so like one of the producers,
don't pull your hamstrings, kids.
No, it was like other things like it wasn't don't do drugs, but it was like akin to that, right?
Okay.
So but yeah, dude, Mousercise, toaster strudels, watching Mousercise, getting excited for the school day, walking down to the bus stop. At the time, I was living in Tampa, and so it was perfect.
That's a great memory, man. That's a great memory. Well, I got some more memories coming up and some great food coming up as well. So what is next?
Carnation Instant Breakfast. You're gonna love it in an instant. You're gonna love it in an instant. It's so good and frosty, rich and tasty. Carnation Instant Breakfast. You're gonna love love it in an instant. Carnation Instant Breakfast comes in 4 delicious flavors. Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate malt. It's one nutritious breakfast you're gonna love. Carnation Instant Breakfast. In regular and no sugar added. You're gonna love it in an instant.
I was moving some drinks around.
He was so into Carnation Instant Breakfast commercial, he forgot where he was and what he was doing. Now, say what you will about Carnation Instant Breakfast. You may not have had any as a kid, but you cannot deny the unbelievable bop of that commercial jingle.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody could sing that one.
I remember that song.
And that's why it still rings true in my head, because I haven't had this stuff in, so many years. But good for us, they still make it. We have the Carnation Breakfast Essentials. They no longer call it Instant Breakfast. They call it the Breakfast Essentials, but it's essentially the same thing. And this is the variety pack with 3 flavors: milk chocolate, French vanilla, and strawberry sensation. Brian, did you ever have Carnation Instant Breakfast as a kid?
No.
No?
No. And now I'm like realizing that this is what you're making me drink. I don't feel bad at all for making you drink the thing I'm going to make you drink.
Okay, good. So, let's see. Let's do a little history of Carnation Instant Breakfast, and then we'll do a little taste test here. So, Carnation Instant Breakfast, it was produced by, let's see. Oh, okay, here it is. So this is still going on, but this is old school, guys. The company itself was founded in 1899. It was called the Pacific Coast Condensed Milk Company. All right. And then they finally changed their name to Carnation Evaporated Milk Company in 1901. So Carnation and evaporated milk or milk products have been going strong for over 100 years. Now their slogan was Carnation Condensed Milk, the milk from contented cows. Very catchy, but they actually were a part of pop culture because the contented cows thing got them to have, just like an old-time radio and old-time TV, the shows were basically entirely sponsored. So they had the Contented Hour as a radio show, and they had like George Burns, Gracie Allen. They had, who else was there? They had Dinah Shore was on the show. And then later in 1950, the George Burns and Gracie Allen show on CBS, it was sponsored by Carnation. And so they actually had like little gimmicks and stuff. So I was surprised to learn in this research that while I thought Carnation was new in the 80s, and there's a reason for that, it's actually really, really old. Check out this old commercial from when it was made in 1964.
Had any really good days lately? Like when the sun shines brighter, and people seem friendlier, and work goes faster? Days like that? Well, the really good days start out good with new Carnation Instant Breakfast. They start out good because new Carnation Instant Breakfast makes milk a balanced meal. With as much protein as 2 fresh eggs, as much mineral nourishment as 2 strips of crisp bacon, more energy than 2 slices of buttered toast, plus vitamin C, the orange juice vitamin. Instant breakfast tastes good too, really good. So remember, the really good days start out good with new Carnation Instant Breakfast. Really good.
So this that I'm going to make you try has some pedigree, my friend.
It's got the orange juice vitamin in it.
Okay, so I've asked on here which flavor should I make Brian try, and they're going with strawberry sensation. So we're sticking with your strawberry
Yes,
theme. Is that okay?
I am very happy about that.
And I'll let you pick which flavor I get to try.
Who, me?
Yeah, you pick.
You have chocolate.
Okay, well, you got me off easy. All right, so here is your strawberry sensation, and I will go with chocolate. And this is a hefty packet of product. You know, if you're thinking like,
it says large glass. I didn't get here. Let's use.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna go with Anna and Elsa, frozen. Maybe just don't put all of it in, right? Like maybe put like.
Oh, I'm putting it all in. Baby.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be thick. So another interesting thing, when I went to the grocery store, I thought I'd get like little pint-sized little cartons of milk. They don't sell that at any of our grocery stores around here. This is the smallest size I could get.
I swear I've gotten smaller at the one you got this from.
Okay, well, maybe you can get it at like the gas station or something, but... So I'm pouring a giant thing of milk here.
So, did you eat a lot of liquid breakfasts?
I actually did. I mean, like, not a lot, but it was... my mom, and I hope she's not listening, but she's probably well aware that she wasn't like cooking wasn't her jam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we had a lot of self-service stuff and a lot of convenience stuff, and so Carnation Instant Breakfast was definitely a food of convenience. Here you go.
I feel like that was just a product of the 80s, right? So my mom is a very good cook, but we also had a lot of just like very quick and easy breakfasts, and I think it's because like that was like the era of the working mom, right? And so
Yeah.
you had a lot of that.
Okay. This is not disintegrating. It's just sitting on top. Here we go.
Oh, you should have put it in first.
I know. Anyway, let's see if I have anything else. Oh yeah, so I mentioned this was introduced in 1964, and the reason that I mentioned earlier why I thought it was new was because Carnation, the company, was purchased by Nestle in 1985, and so they had a whole big new marketing push and all these new commercials and that jingle. So that's why it was ingrained in my brain.
They must have been a fairly large company. Man, to think about like in the 50s and 60s and stuff, like companies like that, you know, there just wasn't a lot of options to choose from. This probably isn't true, but in my head, I'm picturing you go to your general store and it's just like 5 things, you know, and condensed milk is important because you use it in a lot of different recipes. And like dulce de leche, it's very good.
All right, so did you try yours yet?
No.
Okay, please, let's see. All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Are we chugging it? Oh, you know what? It tastes like just like strawberry cereal milk. Like name like a strawberry cereal, like a fruit. No, not fruit brute. Yum Yum or Frankenberry. So it tastes like the cereal or the milk left over from Frankenberry.
And mine just tastes kind of like chocolate milk. So I can see why this is very popular. Mm-hmm. Although I'm dumping in the rest of the stuff, so it might taste worse now that I've.
So the problem that I have with this is I know that this is packed with everything.
Yeah.
So here's my problem.
Packed with everything, dude. Zoom in on this. Look at all these vitamins. Can you see it? Let's see. Look at that list. That whole block of text is like.
What's the calories?
Everything. Vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, vitamin A, C, E, K, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, phosphorus, iodine, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, magnesium, chromium, myobindum, molybdenum. There we go. And choline. Choline.
That last bit that I drank was still gritty.
Yeah, you gotta really get that going.
So what's the calories? That's what I want to know.
Oh.
Because like I equate this to like a Slim Fast type of deal.
Oh, they have different caloric intakes for the size. So this is 130 calories.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh wait, as prepared. That's where they get you. They show you the two. So it's with the milk. It's 220 across the board.
That's still not bad.
I don't know why they did just the powder. Who's like chugging the powder?
It is interesting that normally these kind of drinks are also meant to be a replacement for a meal. And so it is interesting that this is not. This is just for minor dad.
Well, I mean, it could be served as a meal replacement because it does have, you know, like they advertise that it like replaces like eggs and, you know, it's good as much as toast and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I've talked enough about this. We've drank it. Let's move on.
All right. Well, you know, I think that, you know, this Carnation Instant Breakfast, it seems, other than having to have milk, it seems like it'd be something that's easy for you to take maybe into the wilderness, and so I could see where it would come in handy for some youth of America.
Oh, there we go.
Are you man enough to tackle a mountain? Man enough to ride a roaring rapid? Man enough to hike 20 miles? Catch your own dinner, then sleep in the wild? These boys are. Come to school night for scouting, Thursday, September 22nd, and let the adventure begin.
Preston?
Yeah.
I assume you were a Boy Scout.
I attained the highest rank of Weeblo.
Oh yeah, is that I don't know anything about Boy Scouts. Is that the highest rank of Boy Scouts?
No,
Okay.
It's a Cub Scout. So, you know,
But I think Weeblo, wasn't Weeblo right after Cub Scouts?
it was part of Cub Scouts. It was Cub Scouts, and you have like in Cub Scouts you have ranks. You had like Bear and Wolf and Weeblo.
Okay.
So I got all the way to Weeblo, and then I noped out of there.
I may have made it to Wolf, but I'm pretty sure I made a Tiger Cub and was like had such a traumatic experience from my breakfast, getting my breakfast badge.
Wait, there's a breakfast badge?
Oh yeah, it's like I don't know what it used to look
Oh
like
my
because I probably didn't get it, but the new one is like pancakes with like syrup and butter on top. But so Cub Scouting is part of the scouting program for the Boy Scouts of America, and it's available to boys and girls from kindergarten through 5th grade, or 5 to 10 years of age, and their families. So, you know, there's different parts of Cub Scouting. So if you're not familiar with scouting, like everyone hears about Boy Scouts, but Cub Scouts are like training to be a Boy Scout essentially, and it is actually. It's part of the whole worldwide thing. I was reading some of my notes, and I think I was going to say I thought it was the largest of the divisions. It is. Cub Scouts is the largest because everybody gets into Cub Scouts, and then they get
like,
messed up for their
never mind.
breakfast badge, and they're like, I'm out. So
I'm out.
now, I did have some great times with Cub Scouts. We one time stayed. We slept over at the Museum of Science and Industry in Tampa, and you know, we slept in the dinosaur exhibit. So like, how awesome is that? Sleeping in your sleeping bags, like next to all these dinosaur bones and stuff like that, and like in the jungle. You know, like I thought that was really cool. But
how does this tie into breakfast, Brian? That's what our listeners are dying to know.
you have to work on getting certain badges.
Okay.
You know, and so one of the badges is breakfast, and basically what you have to do is you have to cook breakfast for your family. Okay.
Aww.
So that's what we did. My mom was helping me. I had a stool up, you know, again, this is 1st grade. I have a stool up at the oven. We're cooking probably pancakes or something, right? And if you know me, I'm a pretty adventurous person. I am spontaneous, and I don't, a lot of times sometimes I put a lot of thought into stuff before I do it, but sometimes I'm like, let's just do it, right? And so we're sitting there cooking, and you know how the eye on a stove turns red, and I was like, that means that it's hot. I know that. I wonder if it's cold the second it's not red anymore.
Oh no.
So my mom had taken the pan away from the stove, and she went and was doing her thing, and I was watching it, and it went black, and I just went, like, I didn't just like touch it, I just full force stuck my hand on it.
Oh my gosh, my stomach just dropped.
It was so bad. I had like a ring, like,
dude, you were like the guy from Indiana Jones with the medallion. You had like the indentations, the whole thing.
Man, I could not imagine just like that, being the parents of that child would have been like the worst thing ever. Luckily,
gosh.
I don't have scars on my hands from this, which is shocking to me.
Look, we all have stories like this. Mine is not breakfast related, but I remember as a kid looking at my dad's safety razor. You know, these are not the disposable kind. These are the kind that are hard metal, and then you put an actual razor blade in it. Looking at it and going, how sharp is this? And going, shoink! And I like just straight across the razor blade and slicing my finger clean open and going, ah! Yeah, so we all make stupid choices. Brian, yours is just burn inducing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we got going on?
All right. So another great thing that I loved having, and you know what, I would have it for breakfast and at dinner sometimes. And you know, it's cool because I was thinking about it today, and I think it's interesting. Will you hand me that stirrer spoon, please? All right. So I think it's interesting how I was like, I don't want you to see what
so
this is.
scared to look. If it's like bouillon cubes, I'm out.
Well, you'll see.
Gross.
I don't know if like my mom was like, hey, try this out, you'll like it. I don't know where it came from, but I really remember doing it like at my granddad's house, so maybe it was something that he did.
It's brown. Oh no.
But looking back, it was kind of like this big, awesome thing, because nowadays you have all kinds of flavors and drinks, and back in the day you did not.
I'm so scared. Why is this so secretive?
All right. So this is an additive that I would add to my milk a lot of times, just because
Like
I like
just drinking milk.
Yeah, just drinking milk. I like to change it up sometimes. So take a sip and tell me if you know what it is.
God. Oh, is this? Oh, is it just vanilla flavoring, vanilla extract?
It's just vanilla extract, baby.
Woo.
I love putting vanilla in my milk, and nowadays it's in like almond milk and all that stuff, so it's
Yeah.
not that special. But when I was a kid, this is how I did it. I might have put a little too much in yours.
I mean, it's just. So I use vanilla. You know, obviously a lot of baking, but my vanilla extract is when I make snow cream. So that whenever it snows, like a significant amount, you go get a big pile of clean snow, put it in like a bowl, put a ton of sugar on there, put some vanilla extract, and then put a lot of milk, and you mix it all up, and it's like a soupy porridge, and it's called snow cream. It's like ice cream that you can make without having like an ice cream maker.
Where is this from?
I made this. It's like,
You just made this up?
no, like it's a thing.
I've never heard of this.
Well, you didn't grow up where it snowed, so
I
you grew
guess
up in
that's
like
true.
Miami where the heat is on. And so this tastes kind of like that because it's basically just milk and vanilla extract, but it's missing some of the sweetness that needs to cut it, and it tastes pretty heavy on the vanilla extract. Do I have to go in again?
Hey, I finished my strawberry.
Yeah, well, that's like
Carnation.
strawberry quick, and you're just making me drink brown extract. Yee.
Well, so that's my experience with Cub Scouts and
All right.
breakfast, Preston. Were you excited about that?
That's great. So we're through with your stories now, right?
Yes.
You got any more stories? Okay. Well, since you didn't bring any food, I found an extra thing for us.
Okay.
These are not nostalgic except for the fact that they are of a classic brand. But one of the things about the cereal these days that's really cool is that the cereal companies have figured out that people love the cereal, and the cereals themselves are brands that have value. So nowadays you can find all kinds of like ancillary food products that have cereal branding. You can go to, I remember going to like Steak and Shake, and they have Lucky Charms milkshakes, you know, and they're like branded. Well, anyway, I found these in the grocery store while I was looking for your your toaster strudels that you just like wanted. So I found these. I know you like Fruity Pebbles, so let's try these. These are brand new Fruity Pebble Crisps. They are from Post. They are gluten free, and it looks like they're just rice cakes.
You know what the downside to this is?
What's
the
that?
best thing about Fruity Pebbles is letting them sit in the milk for so long that they just become like a sludge at the bottom of the bowl. And these are crispy, I would assume.
Okay, so I got the smell test going on, and these, they definitely smell like Fruity Pebbles.
Yep,
I don't know if they're quite as strong. Oh, he's going in. All right, here we go.
They're delicious.
They don't taste like, they're very thin. They don't taste like rice cakes.
They're very thin.
They do. They taste like Fruity Pebbles.
It is interesting. So a serving is 17 pieces, and it's only 140 calories per serving. So I feel like 17 pieces is a lot.
These have a little bit of like powdery film on them. I wonder if that's just so they don't stick together in the bag.
Yeah, that's like cheese, like shredded cheese. You're not supposed to use that for melting because they put that stuff on it so that the cheese doesn't stick together.
That's pretty good. So, I don't really have anything to go with that one, but
You know,
I saw it on the shelf and I was like, let's eat that.
I bet it would be good just to pour in a bowl and put milk on it too.
Or you could just get some Fruity Pebbles.
I mean,
Crazy.
I guess this is probably more expensive than Fruity Pebbles. So,
All right, here we go. What's up next for us?
all right. Well, next, I'm glad you chose this one because this was actually a staple at my house too when I was a kid. So,
It's me!
you were always
It's
over
me,
there,
Mario!
You were always over there. It was crazy.
Go ahead, you can give it a swirl. It's the only oatmeal in the whole wide world. You can squeeze out the fun, you can give it a swirl.
Make a strawberry smile, make a milk chocolate swirl. Oatmeal swirlers, you can give it a swirl.
Fun to make.
Fun to eat, 6 great flavors.
Oatmeal swirlers, the swirling fun part of this complete breakfast.
Oatmeal swirlers, you can give it a swirl.
I timed things poorly, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
The Fruity Pebble crisps were supposed to go with this particular thing because we don't have anything to eat for this. Because oatmeal swirlers discontinued. Can't find it. They're gone.
You could have just gotten some grenadine and oatmeal.
Is that what you're going to say? So I have a suspicion, but I wasn't brave enough to try it. And, you know, like this stuff is a little easier to fix for a live podcast show. But like hot oatmeal and experimentation doesn't really work for this format. But I suspect that if you got a whole bunch of gushers and snipped the tops off and then squeezed out that goo on top of your oatmeal, it would almost be like you had an oatmeal swirler.
I'm surprised they don't make these anymore because it's just the stuff inside the Pop-Tart.
No.
You
It's
don't think so?
gooier. I mean, it's like more liquid. It's like if you went to the gas station and you got some of those like those really gross candies that are just like gel in a jar.
I used to love those.
It's that. But I love this because, well, one, I ate it, but because oatmeal was a staple in my family. We had a lot of oatmeal. We had a lot of like other stuff too. Did you ever have like malt-o-meal or cream of wheat?
Yeah, cream of wheat. I don't know what malt-o-meal is, but cream of wheat. And you know what? I accidentally did this one time as a child with grits. I put sugar in it, and it tastes like cream of wheat.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever want to do that.
Yeah, so, you know, I always douse my oatmeal in butter and sugar and stuff like that. Put raisins in it sometimes too. Okay. But when the instant oatmeal market hit, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe some of our older watchers and listeners can let us know if instant oatmeal was a thing before the 80s. But I think that might have been a thing that came out in the 80s, or at least was proliferated. But regardless, the like those were a game changer because you had like really sweet apples and cinnamon, maple and brown sugar. But then the instant oatmeal game was upped when you were able to add squirtfuls of gross, disgusting jelly made of sugar on top of it. And just like Brian sharing a picture here, just like you made mention of our toaster strudels, oatmeal swirlers allowed you to be an artist with your breakfast as well.
And the packet, if you look at the packet, it's even got a crayon or a pencil or something on it. But the packet looks identical to the toaster strudel packet. So, except for the shape of it. I guess.
So this was a fun one, and I don't know when it stopped being a thing, but it is no longer a thing. But I did uncover in my research and at the grocery store today, I was surprised that another weird byproduct of oatmeal is still out there.
What is that?
Dinosaur egg oatmeal. Do you remember this?
This sounds like a 90s thing.
It was a 90s thing. I think like in 1996, maybe in lieu of the oatmeal swirlers, they came out with this product, which is instant oatmeal with these little like eggs in there. You pour them in your bowl, and then you apply the boiling hot water to it, and the eggs disintegrate and leave like a little dinosaur shape. And I don't know what I think the disintegrated stuff is just like sugar, basically. Right. So you sweeten it. But I don't know if the dinosaurs are chewy. Maybe some of our listeners can fill us in. But
that's cool.
They still make that.
It's like you're excavating fossils.
So I approve of that one. It's pretty cool. I'm surprised they have something so gimmicky still out, because this oatmeal swirlers was just one of the 80s fads that was just so egregiously unhealthy that I think it finally just was like, yeah, we can't market that to kids anymore.
Yeah, I know that. I know that I definitely ate those as a kid, but I mainly just remember eating like just the packets of like the blueberry oatmeal and raspberry oatmeal and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's that. And lastly, we got another classic breakfast cereal. Oh, wait.
You want to talk about yours or mine?
No, let's talk about yours, bro.
Okay. Well, here goes mine.
Look after over a Cookie Crisp. It's the Cookie Crisp.
Just checking the traffic.
Cookie Cook, this scheme to get Cookie Crisp isn't taking off.
Who can blame me? It looks like little chocolate chip cookies.
But Cookie Crisp cereal stays crispy in milk, and it's part of this complete breakfast. Well, Cookie Cook, it's time you started a new career.
Yeah, this one's definitely winding down.
If you like cookies, you'll love Cookie Crisp.
don't understand why everyone wanted their cereal to be so crunchy. That's like the worst thing about cereal.
It's a fine line because, like, when you go into the cereal first and it's like, it hasn't had time to saturate at all. That's the worst. But then if you let it sit too long, it's just gross. It's like I don't want to sludge.
Oh, that's the best part. It's like eating like ice cream.
I gotta find a middle of the road.
Well, so we talk a lot about nostalgia and like the feelings that people have about certain things, and a lot of times companies, they want to jump on the bandwagon too. And so General Mills, this actually happened last year in September. They actually did a thing for Cocoa Puffs, Cookie Crisp, Trix, and Golden Grams, and they permanently returned to their 1980s versions. Did you hear about this, Preston?
I've heard about it, and I am currently at my home enjoying the Golden Grams retro.
Nice.
And it tastes amazing.
You said something about Trix recently too. I feel like, did you have Trix recently?
Trix did not return to its 80s version. It may have had the 80s flavor. It's like 90s, so it's still retro, right? Like they went back to the fruit shapes. But it's not the consistency, because when we were kids, it was still like just the little spheres.
Yeah, it was like Kix. Or whatever.
Yeah, it was like Kix. Yeah.
So anyways, they say that Cocoa Puffs are going to be more chocolatey. Cookie Crisp will bring back more chocolate chip flavor. Trix is going back to the 6 fruity shapes, and Golden Grams is bringing back the honey baby. And they're out at most major retailers. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Like, that's cool and all.
Yeah.
We know that General Mills has like a love affair with Target, and every year they bring back during the Halloween season, they bring back the monster cereals for Target. And this year is totally different, and it worked out great because I think they just announced this yesterday. And so officially teased over the weekend, General Mills is bringing Monster Mash, which is a cereal that basically brings every single of these monster cereals back from the dead. So the cool thing about it is every year we always get Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and a couple years ago they tried to do I think it was Yummy Mummy or Fruit Brute, and it just didn't stick. They didn't keep doing it, but they're going to have Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy in this cereal as well. Now
are they it's not a true mix of all the cereals together. Like, you're not going to have a chocolate flavored thing with, are you?
Yeah. Look at that picture.
I thought it was just going to be like a strawberry flavored cereal that has these different representations through marshmallows.
I don't know. Let's see. I can't read what that says on the box. There's something above Monster Mash that looks special, but maybe it's that starts talking like Dracula. So this piece here,
maybe it's cool.
the Count Chocula. I guess that's not.
It does say that artificially berry flavored frosted cereal.
Okay, well, that's less exciting.
Yeah, it's not just a true that's like a chaos cereal, man. You just got everything under the kitchen sink, put in one. I mean, I'd try it, but I don't think it tastes that good. So at least they got like a singular flavor profile going. But I don't know. I would have liked the chocolate cereal with maybe the fruity flavored marshmallows.
Yeah, that'd be good. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
So something else that I think is just crazy about cereal is, recently, the past couple of episodes, we've been talking about the Pokemon and trading card craze, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about it on patron only episodes, and we've briefly talked about it on regular episodes. So in March, the Pokemon Company announced a partnership with General Mills, and basically they're putting a special pack of 3 cards into cereals like Golden Grams, Trix, Cocoa Puffs, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms, and this has gone out of control.
Okay.
People are going crazy getting these cards, right?
I haven't heard of this at all.
Really? So the crazy thing about it, McDonald's recently did a thing. I have a friend that is a manager at a McDonald's, and he said a guy came through and bought $5,000 worth of Happy Meals for these Pokemon cards.
Wow.
Okay? And people are doing the same thing for this. I didn't put any of the videos. There's videos on Twitter where people have their car filled up with these boxes. But what most people are actually doing is they're just ripping the boxes open in Target, and they're just taking the cards out. And they're just leaving all this wreckage and open cereal boxes and stuff behind for the Target employees to clean up.
That sucks.
And it's so crazy because what they've had to do is they've had to put the spider locks on the cereal boxes to keep people in or out of them.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And it's wild because these are just cardboard boxes. You could just cut them open and take the cereal or take the stuff out anyways, because it doesn't like go off if you mess with it.
Brian, don't tell them the secret.
Well, I'm sure,
or so you've heard.
I'm sure it's like it makes people maybe just second guess. I mean, listen, I ran security for 2 hospitals for a while. I had to get a license for that, and when I was in classes to get a license for this, they tell you locks are only there to keep honest people honest, because anyone can get past a lock. And so maybe that's why Target's doing it. They're just trying to keep the honest people honest. So, but yeah, isn't that crazy? General Mills is killing it right now.
That is crazy.
Monster Mash, Pokemon deals. I don't know.
Well, and all, just like here with the Fruity Pebbles, which is Post, by the way, but they're doing all their branding. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there are Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored cereal bars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, we have some Lucky Charms breakfast bars upstairs.
Yeah,
so
there you go. Well, speaking of cereal, I wanted to taste test the new Ghostbusters Afterlife cereal that I've heard so much about. I think the guys on the Purple Stuff podcast recently did that, but I don't know where people are finding this stuff, because I looked at all of our grocery stores. I looked at Walmart, where it's just supposed to be where they have it, and I didn't find it.
The scalpers, man.
But while I was at Walmart, I found something arguably even better.
Meet the proud creators of new Post Waffle Crisp cereal. No rocking chairs or bingo parlors for these gals. No, sir. Just look at them go.
Ready? Pour!
Harnessing years of good old American waffle know-how.
Close! Open!
To make sure every scrumptious bite of Waffle Crisp cereal tastes just like Grandma's homemade waffles and syrup. And how? Introducing Post Waffle Crisp, a brand new cereal with old-fashioned values.
You'll love my Waffle Crisp.
So, Waffle Crisp cereal, it came out by Post in 1996, so it's officially retro.
Mm-hmm.
It was something marketed to us while we were youth.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were 2 Utes.
We were 2 Utes. We were older Utes, but we were still Utes nonetheless. And cereal is for all people. So, did you enjoy Waffle Crisp as a kid?
You know what, I did. I like all crisp cereals, and so I'm also like really big into just like being like, hey, what's the cereal? Let's just try it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of those out there, but it can add up with cereal costing $4 or $5 a box now.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get a lot of those, but I did get Waffle Crisp because I haven't had them in a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and they were actually discontinued in 2018, and only in 2021 were they brought back by Walmart as an exclusive to Walmart. By popular demand. And ladies and gentlemen, look at this behemoth. This is a giant bag of Waffle Crisp. No. It's no box. It's a giant bag. I never really got into bagged cereal.
I love bagged cereal
as a kid.
Oh my god.
I mean, I think it's a value discount kind of thing. So I appreciate those folks that had that. But like, it doesn't store it as easily. And it's just like a lot. Families who have a lot of kids love the bag cereal because you get way, bang for your buck. A lot of food.
See, I did not get the bag cereal as a kid, but as a late teenager, young adult, I really got into like the what's the knockoff Fruity Pebbles? It's like Dino Bites or something like that. And it's a bag cereal, and man, bag cereal is where it's at because you can seal it back up. Like you know, is that supposed to open all the way?
Oh, does it not? You only
open it on half of it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't finish it.
And so
see, it shows. I don't know how bag cereal works.
And so that way you can seal it back up when you're done, because regular lame box cereal, you're not supposed to. You just go stale.
All right, I'm gonna pour some for me, but this is the most potent smelling cereal. I mean, it smells pleasant, but it is also really, really strong. Here you go, Brian.
What does it smell like to you?
It smells like...
Oh, my God. It is just syrup.
It smells like a 4-year-old who is just mysteriously sticky.
Yes.
And you're like, why do you smell like syrup? Well, you haven't had any syrup all day, but you just smell like it and are sticky. Yeah, so anybody who has kids knows what I'm talking about. But it's weird. And now that it's like fragrant in the room, it's taking on a different aroma.
It's chemical warfare.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about that. Oh no, I have to use my chocolate spoon. Whoa.
Well, you can use the Oh wait, I don't know what you used your other. Oh yeah, you only have one spoon.
Okay. So you're a milk fan, right, on the cereal?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Why? What else? Oh well, sometimes.
Well, you could put water.
I was gonna
on
say
there.
sometimes I use water.
Do you really?
Yeah. For like certain cereals, I'll do that.
Okay. How long has it been since you've had Waffle Crisp? Don't lie to me.
Oh gosh, I would have been a child.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a while.
I didn't know that they still made it.
I know. And even though it did get discontinued, it's a good cereal if it lasted 20 years
Right.
or 20 plus years.
What cereal do you associate with Post?
Raisin Bran.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So I will say the cereal itself, it looks really blocky.
Mm-hmm.
It looks less waffly than I thought.
But it has like the waffle lines.
Ooh, that is nasty.
It's not very good.
Oh, that is so sweet.
It's not the sweetness that bothers me. It actually has like a molasses taste, which is surprising. BHT.
It tastes different than it smells. Like it's not quite as strong as it smells. Or just different.
It is that it tastes like cheap syrup.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. Like
the corn helps like level it out a bit. And it's good texture, but I don't know. It is I can't imagine eating this like all the time.
Well, you will now because you have a giant bag of it. Did Post make corn pops?
No.
No.
I think there's Kellogg's.
I love corn pops.
All right, so before we leave this, I want to mention that the mascot for Waffle Crisp originally was like you saw on that commercial was like old grannies.
Yes.
They're like, I know how to market this to kids. That makes it grandmas. But actually, it was pretty clever because the kids had to try to steal the secret formula or steal the waffles, the homemade waffles from grandma because grandma makes the best waffles. But they abandoned that marketing campaign after a while and went with Waffle Boy, who was so popular he had his own video game. And
So,
it's me.
I didn't know you were gonna keep going, so I was trying to stop it. Now, Preston, this looks like a Flash game.
Yes, this is a Flash game from like Flashtopia or something. So it's a platformer, and I think it was a big deal when someone like found the code to this and was able to make it playable again. So I think if you Google, the name of the game is Waffle Boy Mountain Adventure. I think you can find a site or download this to be able to play it as a Flash game. But I would be a little cautious about downloading random Flash games.
Well, Flash won't work anymore.
I thought they just weren't supporting it.
No, I think Flash, like, they killed Flash Player. You didn't get the update?
Oh, I don't know.
There's an update for your Flash Player that just killed it. It uninstalled it.
But they also have Waffle Boy Mountain Adventure and then Waffle Boy Jungle Adventure. So you can look on YouTube for those videos.
Now, see, it's crazy to me because when I think of like serial video games from when I was a kid, because this had to be like late 90s. But when we were kids, other video games were made for serials like Chex Quest, and there was a couple other ones, but all they did was just use the Doom engine, and then they made a serial video game for using the Doom engine. So like they played just like Doom, it just had new graphics basically, and so
that's cool.
Yeah.
So I've changed my opinion about this cereal.
Okay, you've continued to munch on it.
It gets better the more you eat. But this is not one where I would be drinking the milk. It looks appalling.
Is it like where after like the fourth or fifth shot, like all the other shots taste fine?
I think so. So anyway, if you like Waffle Crisp, they still have it now. It's at Walmart. Go check it out. But we will constantly be on the lookout for the Ghostbusters Afterlife cereal, the Monster Mash cereal, and all other exciting fun things that come our way from the brilliant minds of these breakfast makers.
Yeah. I was bummed that you couldn't find the Monster Mash code because the Monster Mash, or not the Monster Mash, the Ghostbusters cereal, because I was super excited to try that out.
I know. I think it tastes different than the original Ghostbusters cereal. But hey,
well, wasn't the first one made by that dog food company?
Yeah, Ralston, which is a subsidiary of Purina. Dude, they need to bring Ralston back. They had some classics.
I think Purina is struggling to stay alive.
Dude, the cereal smells up your studio so much. It's crazy. Anyway, that does it for our breakfast show. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We don't taste test too often, but this was an occasion to get to do that, and we really enjoyed it. Brian, you gonna be drinking some of that? You want me to leave you some of that Carnation Instant Breakfast?
No, you can have it. It'll be a fun thing to do with your kids.
Oh, they'll love it. I will leave you those fruity pebbles.
Okay.
How about that?
Cool.
All right,
Deal.
Sweet. Well, that does it for me. I'm at Squared Stiff on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show at Wayback Attack show@gmail.com. Email us there, and all other places. Brian, tell them about the Patreon and where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me at I almost said at Wayback_Attack. You can find me at BE Grantham, and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Wayback Attack. We have do these shows 2 times a week. Or 2 times a month. There's also another show that goes up once a month, just for the patrons, and then there's a bunch of other benefits that you can get for signing up for the patron, and they start at just $2 a month. So. Yeah. Check that out. If you can't do that right now, I understand times are tough for some people. Just tell a friend. That's all I ask.
Yeah, and leave us a review.
Yeah, we haven't done reviews in a while.
Yeah,
and I was looking through them the other day, and they were pretty funny. So, if you have the opportunity to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app, then please do so. I really wanted to say iTunes. Really,
it's all the sugar rush you're having from all these breakfast cereals, man.
I think the fumes from the cereal is like killing my brain. So
funny. And just a reminder before we go, come and test your trivia knowledge Friday night for retro trivia at Retrofied's Discord, and check out retrofiedmag.com. That'll do it for our show this time.
Yeah, I'll see you next time.